guys think?
Is to lead with us.
So it was 2017, last year, that I stood in line for a chance to purchase the Union Air Jordan 1 collaboration at ComplexCon. I didn't get a pair, and people on the internet went crazy over the mismatched toes of the Union 1. So Jordan Brand actually went ahead and recreated a version of the Union 1, but with gold on both toes. So I eventually did get a pair of those, but not the Union collaboration. So at ComplexCon, I probably stood in line for about 5 hours just for a chance to cop this sneaker. And then all hell broke loose. We were pretty much maybe 50 people from the front of the line on that one Saturday, and they shut it down. And there was supposed to be enough for everyone over at ComplexCon, but didn't happen. So now it's 2018 and I get my redemption. Here is the Air Jordan 1 Union for 2018. So as far as Union's concerned, I've always known about the shop whenever we travel up to Los Angeles to shop at Undefeated, which is pretty much next door. And it was a shop that, well, to be honest with you, I never really went in because, you know, I'm a sneakers guy and Undefeated was the place to go get those sneakers. But it is great that Jordan Brand is reaching out to these small boutiques, Union, Soulfly, Undefeated, you name it. And they're doing these collaborations with apparel and for sneakers. Sneakers definitely is something that has really caught my attention. So when it came to this one and everyone was trying to get their hands on this storm blue pair, and there's also a black toe pair, it was a little bit of a mess, to be honest with you. And you guys understand if you guys were trying to go after this sneaker, but luckily I was able to get through. I went on my mobile and just was patient, followed the process, and here it is. So this is the Air Jordan 1 Union, which takes inspiration from two pairs of sneakers, in particular the original, but this is the retro of the Storm Blue or Kentucky Blue Air Jordan 1. So you'll see the bottom of the Air Jordan 1, and then the top of this is the 1985 Air Jordan 1 black and red, band, bread, you name it. And they took the tops of those and mishmashed them. Now, you guys know I'm not really a fan of Frankenstein looking sneakers. A lot of people are already calling these the sneaker of the year, which is honestly is not the deal with me, or not the case with me. It is a great sneaker nonetheless, but I'll tell you why I like it. So the owner of Union LA, Chris Gibbs, he, from what I've read, is a fan of vintage materials and weathering of clothing and all that sorts, and he goes to the flea markets to try and find you know, the inspiration behind certain sneakers or certain like clothing with that washed out look and everything. And he decided to bring that over to the sneaker and apparel side for his company Union. And so when he met with the Jordan Brand NRG team, he decided that it was something that he wanted to do. So just looking at both sneakers in general, and I'll go ahead and, you know, bust out the 1985, is, you know, that inspiration. So you'll see like the cracking of the collars here, pretty much the old leather look, the rustic looking part of the sneaker overall, the yellowing of the midsole, all of those design elements, those design cues he wanted to bring into the Air Jordan 1 Union. So that's what happened. The stitching up along the side, from what I've read on air.jordan.com, which is Jordan Brand's blog, he said that he wanted to showcase that back in the day, if kids were to get another pair of shoes, that they would pretty much sew like the upper of one shoe over the other one. And it's just really a far-fetched idea. I didn't really get that. I never saw kids really doing that with their sneakers. I saw like people changing up the laces, putting fat laces in them or skating in them and whatnot. But that was something that was a little bit of a stretch for me. So I think that's a little bit far-fetched. But if we're just talking about like NRG and the sneaker overall, I think it's a really nice collaboration that they did for 2018. I'm not gonna lie. As far as like the weathering on the leather piece on the inside with that yellowing, they pretty much just over exaggerated with that, with the vintage look of Air Jordans and sneakers from the 1980s. I mean, you still get like maybe like weathering of the edges and stuff like that, but I never really saw like yellowing. On the midsole you see it definitely. And then the fuzziness of the collars, so this is like a painted foam that they did in the 1980s. This would typically just crack and weather over time because this is an exposed pretty much piece, especially this part right here by the bottom of the leather strap right there. So those two areas right there are what they were trying to accomplish here in this 2018 version. So from what I've read on the blog, they actually had 9 attempts at this weathering, and I think they did a great job to be able to come up with what they did. So in the restorers like element or world, if you're trying to restore, say like an Air Jordan 6 even like an Air Jordan 4 or 5, there's like this method that they use. It's called the tennis ball method, where they remove all the cracked Durabuck from the shoe, and that's the look that was achieved here. So it actually feels good. It feels great. I like the feel of that. I wish they actually used this method on the swoosh, because we did get a nubuck swoosh on this particular shoe, and on the OG it's like a vinyl or like a thin layer of leather on the swoosh itself. So it's not the same. If this was something that would match this particular piece, I think I would like it more. But they did do a nubuck swoosh, so that's that. The last time that we really saw like a nubuck swoosh on like older Air Jordans was maybe on the 94 Air Jordan 1. So maybe that might be the look that they were trying to go after. And then as far as like the sneaker overall, they did use like the cream laces where you get like that vintage look of the sneaker. Again, on the midsole itself, on the edges of the leather. And then they also had that Virgil, the off-white inspired look with the exposed tongue right up the top. So I think they could have actually worked that in a lot more, maybe on the edges, just like on the off-white one where they did it on the UNC and the Chicagos. So they did like that exposed piece right there. Heck, maybe even just do like another off-white. But I think they wanted to differentiate themselves from the actual off-white and their own Union collab. So I appreciate like what they did there. All right, and then one other thing that I probably would have changed as well was the hang tag. So on vintage Air Jordans, they had a paper or diamond shape hang tag, and it was a Jumpman. And Michael Jordan actually, dunking the ball, like the iconic Chicago landscape or skyline scene of Michael Jordan doing the spread eagle Jumpman pose. And I think that's what they should have went with. And then, maybe on the backside, show the history or tell the story of it as well. But they included, kind of like a weathered looking vintage look of the Union hang tag with the Jumpman and Union at the bottom. So I mean, it's all right, but it's not really that big of a deal to me. And then as far as like the Wings logo, as you see it on the OG, it's a smaller version, where it fits just pretty nicely there on that leather strap with the OG Air Jordan 1. But they use the Air Jordan 1.5, which is pretty much like it's the Air Jordan 1, but with the Air Jordan 2 tooling on the shoe. And it was one of the shoes that Michael Jordan had actually was testing before they rolled out the Air Jordan 2. So they use the 1.5 wings inspiration right there on the Air Jordan 1. So I'm not sure exactly if it is the same, size of it. It quite possibly could, but it did extend past like the stitching on the shoe itself. So I think it looks pretty good. It looks clean. It like really just comes at you just as so. There is the Union one or the gold toe one. So you'll see like how that looks. But yeah, overall, great sneaker. So it came with the cream color laces at the bottom, and then there's like a split. So there's like a split of the color there. So it's cream at the bottom to match the storm blue Jordan 1, and then it splits for the black just to create the top portion. So I thought that was pretty like neat right there. And then again, they have the Frankenstein look with the stitching coming around the shoe, and they extended that into the tongue as well. So the sneaker itself came with 3 different laces, the ones that are actually attached to the shoe with the cream color look and the black laces up top. And then it also came with all yellow laces. And then it came with the black laces with the cream look. So I thought it was great to include like, those different options so you can go ahead and style it the way that you like. As far as like the white leather on the storm blue bottom portion, do you think that they should have went weathered, or that cream looking look on the white leather? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think, or how would you guys change up this sneaker so that it looked different and something that is pretty much, I guess, your vision if you were in Chris Gibbs' position at Union and Jordan Brand. And then before I let you guys go, I wanted to just go over like the design elements of the box and the paper itself. So there is an individual at Jordan Brand who does the design elements, and I'm sure there's the other team as well. But this individual in particular, his name is Paul Savovici, and he actually designed like pretty much the box. So you guys can see like the different elements of design, pretty much Tinker's drawings on here, which I really do feel that if ever a book came out of Tinker's drawings, a coffee table book, like I would buy 2 copies, literally, because his drawings and just looking at like what his thought process was back then is just really like awesome to look at. Like you can see pretty much like all like the questions that was asked for a particular sneaker like this Air Jordan 11, and it's just coming up with ideas like what can they do, like what colors, or like how big should the patent be. Like one of the biggest questions about sneakers and the culture in general is like how big or how high is the patent leather, just little things like that. And so that's all over the top part of the lid, which is pretty neat. And then they fuse that with the Air Jordan 1. So it's pretty much like an Air Jordan 3 box. They used this, I think, up until like the 7. So from the Air Jordan 3 to the 7, it was pretty much that open top lid like this. The inside's just black. It has nothing really. It has that YCM sticker, as you guys can see. And then the paper that went with the shoes itself. So I thought it was a pretty, cool piece right there. This is something that, we pretty much paid extra, I guess. Air Jordan 1s are like $160 normally, and then this Union collab was like $190. So, I mean, of course, it's going to be just a little bit more of a premium because it is a collaboration, but I thought these were pretty neat. So if you guys are interested in looking at more of the elements here, you can pause the video and you can check out what the drawings that Paul put together for Chris Gibbs and Union. So that also carries on into the inside of the sneaker. I'll try and get like a good B-roll of that as well, but it's on both sides. So on the right shoe you have Union, And then on the left shoe you have Air Jordan in, you know, the top portion of the wings logo. I do have several posters of it as well, and I can show you guys. Is, you know, the art of the dunk. That's something that was awesome to have as a kid. And like there it is right up top of my studio here where I record, the art of the dunk. I also have the infamous original Nike poster of him dunking in 1988. Of course, you guys know the wings poster with a quote from William Blake: "No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings." And then just another one, because I don't have much space anymore, is the any questions type poster. The jump, the spin, the jam, any questions. Anyways, that's just some of the, you know, the inspirations that went behind just creating this box in general. So, but anyways, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for, you know, watching the video and taking your time with my content, and I appreciate every single one of you, the good and the bad. And let me know what you guys think about this sneaker overall and in general in the comment section below. Is it something that you try to get? Do you like this sneaker better than the black toe, or do you like the black toe better than this one? Drop it all in the comment section below. I read everything, and you know, I'm always looking to like improve my content, or, you know, be able to bring you different types of videos just like this. So that's my perspective. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your support. Subscribe to the channel if you guys like the content, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.
To evacuate is to leave.